All right, so today we're going to continue working with the constant of proportionality. We're using tables and graphs to find the constant, and we're going to connect the constant to the unit rate. So here's our problem for our example today. You're going to fill in the table using the relationship 3/4 cups punch, which is our X value, to 1/8 cups lemon lime, which is our Y value. In this table, I don't see the 3/4 on here, right, for punch. I could add it at the end over here, but I also am noticing these actually go in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to figure out where to place 3/4 on this, where it would be in order. I'm looking at 1/4 here. This is 1/2. I know that 1/2, I could also write that as 2/4. And then I'm getting to 1/2. 3/4 is going to be greater than 2/4, but it will be less than 1/2 cup. So that tells me I can place that value, the 3/4 a cup of punch, here, which means my 1/8 a cup of lemon lime would go here. Now I'm going to use scaling, or you could set up proportions, whatever method works for you. You use that method to continue filling in the table, since that's the directions we've been given. The first thing I'm noticing is here I have 3/4. If I want to get down to just having 1/4, I could divide this into 3 parts, right? Divide it by 3. So 3/4 divided by 3 equals 1/4. That means I need to take the value that corresponds to 3/4, which is 1/8, and I need to also divide it by 3. Now, 1/8 divided by 3, it's a whole number going into a fraction, so I'm going to rewrite this as a whole number over 1. And then when I divide fractions, I like to get a common denominator. You may have another method that you use. If that works for you, do that. If dividing by fractions or dividing fractions is something that you struggle with, make sure you're reaching out so we can help you with that. Now, the common denominator of 8 and 1, or a common factor, would be 8. So 1/8 would stay the same. I need something over 8 that's equivalent to 3/1. To get from this denominator of 1 to a denominator of 8, I would be multiplying it by 8. So I'm also going to multiply 3 by 8, which is 24. When we divide fractions in this way, we first divide the numerators. 1 divided by 24. I know that's going to give me a decimal. I'm going to just keep it in fraction form. 1 divided by 24 could also be written as 1/24. Then we divide across the denominators. 8 divided by 8 is 1. So here I know that with 1/4 a cup of punch, I'm going to have 1/24 over 1 for lemon lime. The thing is, anything divided by 1 just equals itself. So let's simplify that further. 1/24 divided by 1 is just 1/24. As I continue in this table, I'm noticing something else now. So to get from 1/4 to 1/2, remember earlier when I said 1/2 is also equal to 2/4? That could be helpful in this situation because I know that it takes 2 1/4 to make 2/4. In other words, 1/4 times 2 gives me 2/4. Let's also then, because we want to maintain equality, multiply the lemon lime value from that same column by 2. So 1/24 times 2. The most common mistake I've seen with this, and it's happened across all 3 of my classes, is that students forget that 2 as a whole number is written as a fraction 2/1. And so the mistake they make is they multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. Keep in mind when we multiply fractions, we multiply the numerators across. 1 times 2 is 2. And then you multiply the denominators by each other. 24 times 1 is 24. So when I have a half a cup of punch, 2 24ths of that is lemon lime. We won't simplify these right now. Then we get to 1 cup. I'm going to clean up a little bit here. So now we're at 1 cup of punch. I could use my 1/4 value if I wanted to, or I could go from the 1/2. Either way, I'm going to go from the 1/2 because I know that 2 halves make a whole. In other words, 1/2 times 2 equals 1. Keeping it equal, I'm going to multiply the 2 24ths times 2 also. So 2 24ths times 2 would give me 4 24ths. And now at the end, I'm left with getting to 1 1/4. Here, there's options, just like there always is. I'm noticing 1 1/4 right now written as a mixed number. I could convert that to an improper. I also have another choice. I'm looking at this as 1 plus 1/4. And I noticed something else from my table. When I have 1 cup of punch, I've got 4 24ths lemon lime. When I have a 1/4 a cup of punch, I've got 1 24th lime. So I could also just combine those values together to find the lemon lime for 1 1/4 cups or 1 1/4. That would give me 5 24ths. You heard me say this a lot yesterday. I want you to not forget there are a lot of ways to be successful with tables. These are just some of the ways to do it. Now, the question here, we filled out the table. Our big question today is going to be to find the constant of proportionality. Remember, the constant of proportionality is the ratio of the y values to the x values. And in a proportional relationship, it's going to equal the same number every time. So here, y over my x value is going to equal r. R represents the constant of proportionality. In this table, if I was to put my y value over my x value and divide that out, because it's proportional, I should get the same answer every time. So let's try this. Let's find the constant of proportionality using some of the values that we have. I'm going to start with this point here. I know I'm doing y divided by x. My y here is 1 24th. Now I could write this 1 24th divided by my x, which is 1/4. I'm going to write it out horizontally here so we can see a way to divide it. I can, because the denominators are factors of each other, I can use just dividing across in this case. You could get common denominators here too. But since 4 does go evenly into 24, this actually, I don't need a common denominator. That factor really helps me. So 1 divided by 1 is 1. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So what that tells me is that the constant of proportionality for this graph, or this table, is 1/6. Let's try another one. Because it is proportional, we should see that they would all equal 1/6. So let's try the second part here. Yeah, let's do this one. So again, I'm going to do my y value divided by or over my x value. My y value here is 2 24ths. I'm going to divide that by 1/2. Y divided by x. 2 divided by 1 is 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. You might be thinking, Miss, 2/12 is not the same as 1/6. That's because it's not simplified, right? I can simplify this. They're both divisible by 2, and I get 1/6. So the constant of proportionality for this graph, or this table, I keep saying that, is 1/6. Another thing you could think here that's important, and this is where it connects to unit rate. The constant of proportionality would also be the point in your table or on your graph where x equals 1. So what I see here, I'm going to erase that out of our way for a second. Here I see that when x is 1, y is 4/24. That means my constant of proportionality is 4/24. Why did I put it over 1? I'm going back to this form just to show you that it simplifies to still be 1/6. So I've got my y value on top, x value on the bottom. 4/24 divided by 1 is 4/24. Both of those numbers are divisible by 4, so I'm going to simplify it. And it simplifies to 1/6. So again, same constant of proportionality. How this is helpful, knowing that it's a unit rate where x is 1, it's really helpful if you're given a graph and you're trying to determine the value or the unit rate. So for this, what you would do is you would go on a graph, you would see where x equals 1, that's here. This one's a little tricky because in my application, it converted them to decimals and it rounded this one off. But on whole numbers, you're going to see, like here, if my x value is 1, whatever my y value is, that's going to give you the constant of proportionality. So today you're going to go in and you're going to work on finding the constant from tables and graphs. That's your whole thing today. You're doing that over and over and over again so we can be really confident with it. Make sure you're reaching out to ask questions if you have them. And that's about it. Good luck, guys.